A distributed workforce is when you have a main office location, such as like a law firm or maybe the primary location for like a manufacturing office. And then you're going to have either several remote offices or people or staff members that work outside of that office location. Due to the complexity of the environment, you actually need kind of a wide breadth of knowledge. Most of the line of business applications don't work that well remotely unless you have certain technology. So you really need people that understand the desktop environment and maybe the server environment. But there's also other technologies that need to be involved, such as maybe server virtualization or desktop, either desktop or application virtualization, and really have a skill set to be able to kind of tie everything together. So the goal would be to have the applications work just as well remotely as they do in the office. The biggest hindrance that a lot of companies would have is not having the right skill set to be able to kind of tie everything together. A lot of times they'll have the virtualization, but then they're going to be lacking the security. So they may be able to work remotely, but all of the data is not secure and it could be hacked or compromised. Or they could be missing maybe some of the performance isn't there, if they don't have the right SAN technology or the systems in place. So the problem that you end up seeing is maybe slow performance, a lack of security, or even sometimes even a non-existent security policy, and really the business suffers because of that and a few other reasons. The biggest benefit of working with an outsourced IT firm, like a managed services firm, would be really big. The return on investment is pretty substantial. In the normal life cycle of just a simple fiscal year for a business, different months and different quarters really involve different groups of people. So for example, if you're doing a big desktop rollout or big desktop refresh, you may need, like, let's say 80 or 90% of a desktop group, and then maybe the strategic planning part of the IT may be less. However, on the other side, you may need maybe towards the end of the year, if you're doing budget planning, you may need a big investment from like kind of a CIO or some sort of a strategic kind of business planning discussion. So the benefit and really where you get the biggest return on investment is for probably about the same amount of money or less that you would pay to have maybe one employee. You can actually get you can basically get for the same amount of money, you can actually get a group of people that have different skill sets and use certain portions of each of those people. So you may get, like, one particular month you may use 10% of one and 90% of the other, or you can kind of mix and match to really get the most leverage depending on what your needs are as a business.